Well, I have some good news and I have some bad news. The good news is I'm allowed to do one more video here, and the bad news is the Danites have found me. and this is the last video, and I have been instructed to disavow every video I put on here. Now, you know, I told you sometimes things are slow in Utah, and the weenie and the vagina out of the pants stories slow down. But I knew they couldn't go 24 hours. Here's the new one. What's wrong with this state of people? You know, every time I look at it, I say it can't be, but here it is. All right. This is reported in the Salt Lake Tribune, and it's today, October 18, 2012, Thursday. Saratoga Springs cop who dropped his pants in front of coworker appeals his demotion. If any of you or me were in charge of this guy, he wouldn't have got a demotion. What, is that because he didn't drop his pants fast enough or good enough? Give him a try next time? Wouldn't we all fire this guy's ass? We would. Now here's why he didn't get fired. Take a look at Mia Love in the 4th Congressional District race against Jim Matheson, who is the Democrat, and Mia is the one that spoke at Romney's convention. Okay, Mia Love is the damn mayor of this town. The town only has 20 people in it. Good Lord! And one of them drops his pants. Well, let's see. Were his pants on fire from the GOP? I don't know. Let me read some of it to you. A Saratoga Springs police officer demoted after he dropped his pants in front of a female co-worker has a chance of being reinstated to the rank of corporal after the Utah State Court of Appeals on Thursday advised a city board to rethink. In other words, the court sent it back and said, well, you know, you may not want to demote this guy. A prior decision to strip the officer of his title because of his behavior. Okay, now, look it up. Aaron Rosen, R-O-S-E-N, a current patrol supervisor who is also a county radio broadcast personality. I guess he has a part-time second job. And his name is Coyote McCoy, and he works for KUBL-FM, 93.3 FM. And the chaplain, you know, I'm going to die of a heart attack. I am going to die of a heart attack on camera. He is the chaplain for the Utah Peace Officers Association. All of the policemen in the state. He's their top guy here, okay? Ow! He dropped his pants to his knees in front of a police department records clerk in January 2011, according to court records. Rosen revealed at least his underwear and also made an inappropriate comment to the clerk, the court records state. Let me just fantasize what his inappropriate comment would be. Now, I guess a man who drops his pants at work in front of a clerk and makes an inappropriate comment might say something like, would you like to see my weenie out of the pants? If you really want to see something, just say yes. I can't think of what else this man could say. How does he think? He's not going to get caught. Where do these people have brains? If you drop your pants in public in a police department in front of a female clerk, I can tell you right now, no good is going to happen. Well, let's go back to see what else he did. After he made the inappropriate comment, at the time of the incident, Rosen was a corporal. The next day, an investigation sergeant instructed Rosen in a letter to have only professional contact with the clerk until things cooled off, the court records state. So when she's cooled off in Utah, then the officer can put his pants back on, and nothing happened. Nothing happened in Saratoga Springs. Even Mia Love is not going to go over there because he'll drop his pants to her. My God. Now, in the following days, Rosen attempted to make amends. Now, when you pull your pants down in front of a woman, let me give you some advice. Not that I have experience. Not that I'm going to do it. I have more brains than that. Get the hell away from her. Give her space, time, and eternity. If you expect any kind of reconciliation or any kind of mercy, get the hell away from her. Well, that's the new Caribou's advice. Let me tell you what he did. He attempted to make amends. He put a circus ticket, one he had gotten from the radio station where he works part-time, in the clerk's work mailbox, and also replied in a joking manner to an email she sent out. You know, it just goes from bad to worse. It just shows you here, you know, these people have no brains. I guess he didn't have a weenie because all he did is pull his pants down like a 2-year-old. When the investigators wrapped up 2 weeks later, the Saratoga Springs police chief gave Rosen a verbal reprimand and allowed him to make a short apology to the clerk, I assume with his pants up. This is how they treat women in Utah. This is how they treat women in Utah. This is the Romney repentance style. It is not clear in the report if the apology occurred. A few days later, after Rosen received the reprimand, however, he congratulated the clerk. He runs up to this girl again, I think with his pants on this time, and congratulated the clerk for winning a river dance ticket from a giveaway at his radio station. Man, that's a coincidence. He entered her name without her knowledge and told her she had won by random selection according to the court records. Does this guy ever tell the truth? How many of you believe that she won the river dance as a random drawing and he had his panties down around his ankle and there was no coincidence there? Oh my gosh. Rosen was then placed... He's going from bad to worse. If he just pulled his pants down and gone on vacation for a month, he'd be alright. But this clown keeps going back. Rosen was then put on paid administrative leave and ordered by the chief not to have any contact, give gifts, or anything that could make the clerk feel unwanted recognition. So the clerk... I'm not a woman, but it's not unwanted recognition. If a guy flashes you and then buys you tickets and gives you presents, I think it's witness tampering. That's what I learned. But anyway, the police department demoted Rosen after calling his action insubordination. Insubordination. When I went to school, now I know it was a long time ago, but when I went to school, insubordination meant that you did something that someone told you, don't do this. Don't do this. So I guess the police chief, on his daily warning to all of the cops that were going out that day, both of them, gentlemen, we have a new policy here in the police department. Don't pull your pants down in front of the clerk. If you do, it will be insubordination. All right, well, anyway. And conduct unbecoming an officer. Now, here's where, if I was his attorney, I'd fight it right there. Because conduct unbecoming a Utah officer, I think he could get away with. I would go in that this is normal conduct and not as bad as other police officers in Utah, and I'm looking for a dismissal as the prosecutor because everyone pulls their pants down. At least his weenie didn't come out, and we don't know why. Is it too short? Is he too embarrassed? Maybe he had new underwear on that his mother put on him. But gentlemen and women of the jury, please, I'm pleading with you, this is not unbecoming a police officer in Utah. This is normal behavior. Rosen was accused of violating 4 professional contact orders for him to keep his distance from this clerk. Now, let me tell you something. If you're still employed after panties down around the ankles, consider yourself lucky. Shut your damn mouth. Show up for 10 years on time and never see that clerk. Don't wave at her. Don't park beside her. Now there's the new Caribou attorney. Let me tell you what his attorney did. Jeez. Don't get a Utah attorney. Rosen appealed the decision to the Saratoga Springs Employee Appeals Board, stating he never received an order and was only told not to discuss the incident where he dropped his pants during the investigation. Now this is Mia Love. This is the girl that wants to be a congresswoman, okay? Let her control the panties down around the ankles here before she gets into Congress here. But the board upheld its decision to demote him out of his supervisory role. Well, that seems pretty reasonable, citing 3 other witnesses who collaborated that Rosen was ordered to not have contact with the clerk unless necessary. Rosen then, if the guy had brass balls, don't you think he would have pulled them out? But he didn't. So now Rosen then goes to the Utah State Court of Appeals, which on Thursday ruled that the Saratoga Springs Employee Appeal Board should review its prior decision. So here is the Utah State Court of Appeals going, well, you know, we don't know about dropping pants. You know, firing him is way too much. Demoting him, hey, look at it again. Oh my God. Respect for women. This guy should have been gone in 30 minutes. I would have told him, go to your locker, pick your shit up, and get your ass out of here, and don't show up again. And I hope she doesn't civilly sue your ass for $1 million. Rosen then brought his case to Utah Springs Appeals Court, and they ruled that Saratoga Springs Board and Mia Love ought to review this. After hearing arguments in the case, the appeals court ruled that there was evidence that showed a disciplinary or discrepancy in the number of conversations that he had after he told don't talk to the girl. The employee board was also advised to make decisions on how consistent Rosen's demotion was with the department's disciplinary history. Are they saying that they have a history of Saratoga Springs police officers dropping their pants in front of clerks? Oh, let's go back and see. So they got, what, 10 cases? 100 cases? We only demoted him 1 tier. Oh, his weenie stuck out, and so we demoted him 2 tiers. Where is the common sense in Utah? How can Mia Love be the mayor, and in the town this is going on? This is going on. And she wants to be a congresswoman. She can't even control the panties on the police officers. So I guess they're supposed to go back in history and maybe Google or Westlaw or Lexus how many police officers have pulled down their pants in front of a clerk, and what was the punishment. Well, let me get back so I can see myself, which is a scary thing. There I am. Okay. I would have fired his ass, and I think most of you who watch me would say, geez, what is going on in Utah? His bishop, his state president, the men he goes to elders quorum with, they're all mixed into this, and they're trying to get his ass off. And they're all going to make up excuses for him. The Mormons stick together, and if you come to Utah and you go to one of our famous historical landmines, yeah, we have landmines here, historical land sites, and you see men of distinction in police uniforms with their pants down around their ankles, you'll know you're in Mormon country.